بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قال تعالى: ورزقكم من الطيبات لعلكم تشكرون. وقال تعالى: يا أيها الرسل كلوا من الطيبات واعملوا صالحا إني بما تعملون عليم. وقال تعالى: يا أيها الذين آمنوا كلوا من طيبات ما رزقناكم واشكروا لله إن كنتم إياه تعبدون. وقال تعالى: وأحل الله البيع وحرم الربا. وقال: قل لا يستوي الخبيث والطيب ولو أعجبك كثرة الخبيث. وقال: كي لا يكون دولة بين الأغنياء منكم. So my dear brothers and sisters, inshallah, in this course, introduce you the basic concept in Islamic finance, which have been, adopting. So, it will help the scholars to move on and to correct themselves. So the first thing will be, the basic concept in Islamic finance actually has come in the Quran, the Sunnah, and the writings of the Fuqaha and jurists for a long time, for 1400 years. Then after that, the modern world, how the finance is functioning in the modern world. And then after that, what is new Islamic finance, which you can see so much, people call Sharia compliance and this and that, all those things. What are the theories and what are the, what are issues that we have to understand properly and really look critically. Is it Islamic or not? It is not enough that you call something Islamic. We have to look whether it is Islamic or not. So, I have written something. I think you must have received it, and inshallah some more writers will come. So, first thing in the beginning, very important to understand is actually that what is the basic concept of finance in Islam, or economics in Islam. What is the basic concept? Basic concept in Islam is for the circulation of the wealth in the society is basically cooperation plus competition. Cooperation plus competition. While you see really in the modern world, what happening in our secular world, what happening is, it is basically competition. Cooperation when it helps a competition. So basic concept basically is competition. Everybody wants to become as rich as possible. Then they seek help of other people, cooperate when it actually helps for competition. So I want to become rich, and in order to become rich, I also need your help. So I seek your help because I want basic concept, basic purpose actually to become rich and rich. Islamic concept actually is not like that. Islamic way is cooperation, meaning the wealth should be circulated in the society on the basis of the cooperation, helping each other. When you help each other, there also will be competition, because competition is actually what makes people to help. Okay, when it comes to competition, there's also basic difference. Competition in the modern or secular economics actually is, it basically serving the, competition actually is the main thing, and cooperation comes to serve it. The another thing actually is competition basically to become rich and rich. When in Islam you find competition is not to become rich and rich actually. Competition actually is also in Islam to spend more money, to help people. Competition is not only to become rich and rich. Actually, if spending money more and more is actually more desired in Islam, you can see okay, the word competition, it comes in both in Islamic economics and also in modern. But in Islamic economy or Islamic finance, you can say competition basically means that to serve the cooperation. I spend more money. Why? To help my brothers. And I want to beat you. You're spending and I'm spending. I want to spend more than you. While secular, finance is basically that I want to become rich. In basically more saving, more income, more saving, and competition becomes servant of that. Keep that in mind, because this is a very, very important thing really, because I will come to Islamic finance you can see really that how it has become just, cover-up exercise. It's really nothing, the real spirit of Islam is gone from there. So it is cooperation. Cooperation plus competition. But competition is not only one way that, I just become rich. Competition also is to help other people to save their life, to, spend money in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that actually is a competition. The Quran actually is more keen. Quran says, وَفِي ذَلِكَ فَلْيَتَنَافَسِ الْمُتَنَافِسُونَ. Meaning spending money, giving sadaqah and charity, this is where people should compete. Not to make more houses, rather to give if you have a spare house, to give other people. Not to have more sheep and more goats and more animals. If you have a spare sheep, give to your brother. That Prophet said, if you have 2 sheep, give one to your brother. So he can. It is not competition, not to have more and more. Rather competition is to spend more and more. So competition is there, but it is a different angle. So when the wealth is circulated in the society, Islam has got a basic concept. This concept, not only in Islam, always used to be. And Islam never wants to mix between them, because mixing them, confusing them, it will take away the spirit. So one way of circulation of the wealth in the society, the basic thing really is sadaqah. Meaning, if there is poor people, give them money, not for business. Not if you give £1 and make 2 pounds. This is not allowed. Give them money, not because you expect reward from them. No. You give them money not because they're going to thank you. No. Only give them money because you're expecting reward from Allah in the hereafter. The sadaqah. Sadaqah is giving the money to the poor people. You can imagine really, Muslims should not look at that, but it helps, it helps economics to grow. Because when the poor people get in the purchasing power, in this way, they will buy because they need. Rich people, when they get more and more money, less spending. Because they already, if somebody is already a millionaire and this and that, they still cheat. One of me surprised if you read the newspaper that people who have millions and millions of pounds, why they cheat? They're not going to use it, but still they cheat more and more. So that money which comes to them is never going to be used. But the poor people who actually have nothing to eat, when you give them money, they're going to use it. It basically helps the economics of any society. So the first thing actually how the wealth is circulated is rich people, they have to spend. And when they spend money, there are two ways of spending. One is obligatory. They must spend anyway. If people have got enough money, Islam got what called nisab. Once you own a nisab in this country, roughly it will be around 2,000 pounds. If you have 2,000 pounds and 1 year passes, then you must spend 2.5% of that saving in the path of Allah. That's obligatory. And this obligation is on the gold, on the silver, on the money, on the savings, also on the animals, whatever people have got, it on every single thing. Then on the top of that, Islam encourages people to spend more than that. If your neighbor is hungry, you must give them, must feed him. And and a Muslim cannot be a Muslim if his neighbor is hungry. It's impossible. Give the people, be generous to the people. So this is another thing. Second thing is heba. Heba is gift. Heba means what? Gift, meaning you have brothers and friends and sisters and relatives, whatever. Islam encourages you, be generous. Give them, not as you give to the poor people. Even they have the rich, give them money and give them gift. Why? Because to increase the friendship, the relation. The purpose of what? To your relative, give to your father, to your mother, to your brothers, to your sisters, to your friends. Not expecting reward from them. No, it's not business. Give them just for friendship. That's called heba. So you got reward hereafter. Then they should not take it like a business. They should think, oh, my brother, helping, giving me gift, I should be more generous. So this generosity comes. When generosity comes, very often gifts actually are bought. So you basically are helping the economics. Wealth is more and more circulated. So it's another thing, gift, heba. Heba is very, very important in Islam. And that is Prophet said, tahadaw, tahabu. Give gifts to everybody, you love each other. So Islam wants to increase the love in the society. It does not want to make people selfish. The secular economics, basically secular way is to make people selfish. Even actually people don't like to give anything to their father and mother, close relatives. Islam wants to know everybody, friends, people, your teachers, your students, everybody, give them no reward. If you have money, just give. If you have more wealth, give them. Be generous. Host them. Like Ramadan is coming, feed people. So that is not feeding only poor people. That's sadaqah. Even if like in Ramadan, sometimes you send your iftar to the mosque. You don't send only to poor people. You send all the people there. So for the matter of the iftar, you buy something. You buy from the shop, your wife prepares something, and then you take to the mosque. And many people eat, some of the poor, some of the rich people. It is basically helping in the whole economy. So the second thing is, heba. Then the third thing is, you have a spare of the wealth, so much money. And your neighbor and all those people, they don't have money. And they need something. You have given your zakat already. You have given heba. Still your money is left. So what Islam encourages, okay, lend money. Don't keep it. Lend people. To other people who need it, they take it, they do their own business. To circulation, more and more money. That's called qard. When you give qard, you don't take any reward. Only for Allah. Just, for the welfare of the people. My brother needs 1,000 pounds I'm having at home. Give him. And he's going to do business. And if he cannot pay on the time, give him more time. If he still cannot pay, forgive him. Islam encourages you, forgive the people. Don't make a burden upon the people. Forgive them. So, this thing you cannot really. It is the Islamic way, not only around money. Money becomes a means. Money to serve the society. Then society is based on more friendship. If something like that becomes really, will it not be that we love each other? That's what we need really, proper human being. But the way has become really easy that everybody just basically want to use any opportunity to make more money, as much by cheating, by this, by that. So and that's why Islamic money used to be gold and silver. Gold and silver you can't keep. Because it is so heavy. Basically, it is good for you to lend people, so at least your money is guaranteed, it will come back. Otherwise, keeping at home, somebody can steal. And Islam had no banking system, so you cannot take anywhere else. So you can say Islamic system helps people to lend money. Give sadaqah, give zakat, lend money, because keeping at home is a big burden. Gold and silver, huge money, and when you move, you go for Hajj and your house empty, you can't carry all the money to Hajj. You have to lend, give to the people. So, and there is no banking system in Islam. I'll come to later on how banking system has corrupted the whole economy of the world. People don't understand really, but it will come later on. So this way can come really, though it is cooperation plus competition, but it is coming under the welfare system of Islam. The welfare system of Islam, where it's not business, it's welfare, but here also what is cooperation, basic spirit of cooperation. But then competition. You give sadaqah, oh, I should give more than him. You built a mosque, I should build 2 mosques. Like that. Not you bought a car, I bought 2 cars. No. You built a hospital, I should be actually more generous than you. Build 2 hospitals. You basically provide water for the community, I should provide more water for other needy community. This competition, spirit of competition, to cooperation plus competition, doing more and more. So this comes, it is circulation of the wealth, but under welfare. The second thing is coming, which is proper business. But certainly not that Islam also encourages that people should, if I need something and you have, I buy from you. No, I should not just borrow from you. I should not beg you. I should be more, I should really be a hard-working person. I should earn money and then I buy what I need and you sell to me. So and your purpose is to provide those things in the society which people need. It is also cooperation. Buying and selling in Islam is cooperation, because you basically import or make those items which society needs, and then people buy. So people their needs fulfilled, and you also get some money. So you make more and more, helping the society. So it's a real a need of helping need of society. When greed comes, what happens is you are not really helping society. You basically want to take their money. So you're thinking a new idea how to take money. So you basically manufacture those things which society does not need. Then you convince the society it is good for you. Why? They don't need it. So you are not helping society. You basically just competition, more money, no cooperation. All these things that you make up, for women, you can see advertised on the TV, and when somebody appears and very ugly, and then they apply this cream, and then they become so handsome, and then you go and buy, and you apply, you stay ugly. So, is it helping society? It is just cheating. All cheating in Islam, buying and selling is for a purpose of cooperation, helping society. So, I have something which I don't need, but you need, so I provide to you. But because, I spend money on that, so you also give me money and something profit, so that I can make more and more. To buying and selling. So what is buying? Buy is buying and selling. In buying and selling, Islam never allows any cheating, any deception, any unnecessary risk, which can be avoided, nothing like that. All things should be very clear. What is bought, it should be known. What is sold, it should be known, described well properly, and it should be also owned. You cannot sell something you don't own. Meaning is, it should be, buying and selling should be based on honesty. Honesty, clarity, everything should be clear, and then no cheating, no deception, nothing at all. Then after that, certainly when you have business, if I own something, I can sell. But sometimes people want to make, their way to business, and they don't have enough money, enough capital to invest. So then I said to you, oh Muhammad, you have money and I have money. Let's put together and make a business. That's called Islam musharaka. The musharaka is partnership. Your money, my money, 10 people's money, 5 people's money, 20 people's money, we come together and we do business, musharaka. What is actually essential in Islam, in musharaka, is that people should actually decide their profits on the basis of their partnership. Whatever contribution I have 10% wealth in this business, you have 20%, somebody has 5%. So whatever actually our percentage, we take the profit according to that. But we also share the loss. Musharaka is based, partnership based, on the share of loss and profit both. That's how business is. It is a risk. It should be business. Nothing guaranteed. If any party makes its profit guaranteed or capital guaranteed, then it is no more musharaka. Is it clear? Nobody's capital and nobody's profit will be guaranteed in musharaka. If I invest 10%, in the business, it could be possible I lose all. I even lose the capital. But it could be also possible that I I have my capital and also make profit. Generally, that will happen, more profit. But possibility will remain there that you don't make profit. Possibility also will be you make loss. Possibility also can be that you even lose your capital. All can happen. That musharaka. Musharaka is investing in partnership where basically you share the loss and profit properly. On the basis of what your partnership is. Then we have got in Islam mudaraba. What mudaraba is? You have money, but I don't have money. But I have skill. I have handwork. I am a very hardworking person. So you said to me, okay, I've got money. I don't have time. Take my money, do business, and whatever profit you make, we can share. And if loss there, we can share the loss. Something like that. That you invest, for example, like, you give me 1,000 pounds and I spend my time. And then we agree that whatever profit we make, and loss, your will be 50%, my 50%, something like that. For 60, 40, whatever, 50, 50%. I'm also losing because I'm investing my time. I'm investing my time and you investing your capital. Both are investing. And then after that, we make profit, both share. We make a loss, both share. So, this is mudaraba. In mudaraba, money is from one side and one party, and effort and work is from the other party. That's mudaraba. In musharaka, both of them invest the capital. Both parties, three parties, all the partners, they invest money. But in mudaraba, some of them invest money, and other parties, what they do, they make their effort, their skill, their expertise, they bring that and they work hard. That's it. Mudaraba. Musharaka and mudaraba, they are the main tools of the business in Islam. Basically, if you want to make a finance, that's what is in Islam. Musharaka and mudaraba. I will come to that. That's how always have been used. In Islam, throughout 1400 years in Islam, the only tools have been used for the business is musharaka and mudaraba. Partnership, with the capital or with the effort, but sharing the loss and profit properly. Without any cheating, without any exploitation, no exploitation at all. Sharing that. Then after that in Islam also comes what is called salam. I want to introduce this concept, not because they are part of the business, but they have been used by modern Islamic finance. So you need to know, because I'm going to criticize this thing. Salam. What salam means? First understand Islamic concept. Islamic concept is you are never allowed to sell something which you don't own. It is simple thing. If you don't own something, you cannot sell. And especially if something does not exist, how can you sell it? Something does not exist and don't own, you never can sell. You only can sell what you own and what exists. What salam is? Salam basically is you come to a farmer and you tell him that, after 6 months when, your crops are, harvested, and when you have got wheat or rice, I want to pay you in advance and I want to buy from you, 100 kilo rice, basmati rice. You made very clear and describe things properly. Basmati rice, this, it does not exist. Farmer does not have. He is going to plant, grow. It will take 4 or 5 months, and then harvest will come, and then he'll pay you. He is selling something which does not exist. He does not own. Technically, in Islam, it should not be allowed. But still, fuqaha allow. Why? The Islamic way of life, based in every single thing, every context, every business Islam is based on a very important concept. That is to help needy people. Islam can make exception in the rule when help comes for the needy people. People who need. People who don't need, no. For example, if somebody dying out of hunger, even haram becomes halal. You can eat. If somebody has a need, for example, I need to have a car, because in this country, if I have children, I have to move around, I need to have a car. But having car means also haram, because for the car you need to insure. And insurance, Islamically, if you want a electronic explanation, I can explain to you, Islamically, to everybody, insurance is not allowed, haram. But the reason we allow this insurance is because of the need. People need it. So sometime out of the need, and mostly out of necessity, but sometime out of the need, something which is not allowed, they also can be allowed. But rich people don't have need.
For example, if I am selling to you something and I'm a rich man, millionaire, so, and I don't own, Islam will say, no, you cannot sell. You buy, get it, then sell, because what is stopping you from having? You should have. You can't sell something you don't have. So for example, if I'm selling to you computers and I don't have any computer, no, not allowed, and I'm a rich man, I should buy the computer, put in showroom and in the shop, and then you come and buy. If I don't have computer, I cannot sell. But for the poor people, Islam makes exception. Farmers actually need money to invest. By the end of the year, farmers will become penniless. They have no money. Because with your money, they buy seeds, then they actually invest in watering the crops and looking after that in the farm, and then after that they grow. They need. If you don't help them, nothing will happen. In society, will have no food, nothing there. It is basic need of society that people should help. They're called salam. Salam basically means when you buy agricultural product from the farmer, which he does not have, you pay the price in advance, and he pay back or delivers the product later on a known date, fixed date, but the products must be clearly defined, described properly. You say basmati rice tilde, make it very clear. This quality, that quality, everything properly. Then he is obliged, he must deliver the same quality. He cannot change it. It should be described properly. And these things are very similar. So people can deliver, this wheat, this quality, or this barley, or this, whatever products are there, you describe properly. That's salam. In the salam, what happening is the payment of the price is done in advance, and delivery of the product is done later on a known date. And the product is defined and described properly in a way that no dispute can arise later on. Because Islam does not want any dispute. Islam wants the matter should be as clean, as pure as possible. Is it clear? That's salam. The other thing we have got is istisna'a. Al-istisna'a. Sana'a yasna'u means to manufacture, to make. Istisna'a means like somebody is clear to because this one I'm teaching, istisna. Istisna basically means again the way in Islam. Yeah.
Sir, can you repeat that salam explanation one more time?
Yeah, the salam basically means that you buy an agricultural product from a farmer, you pay the price in advance, and he delivers the product on later date, which is known. Fixed date, that must be known. And the sold item, its product, must be described so well that there is no confusion and there is no dispute in the future. Meaning it, the amount, the quality, the make, whatever you can say, every single thing. For example, the rice, you need to know it is basmati. But also basmati is different types. You have to say this basmati, Pakistani basmati, or they have so many names, that basmati. Then you have to say the quantity, how much quantity is, and then the date. All the things should be described properly. Then it is possible to buy. Salam has many conditions. In salam, you never can make a salam of something which does not have similarity. Salam only can happen those things which are sold by description. If something like house never can salam. Every house is different. House does not have salam. So try to understand. But now they're applying in houses as well. That I'm trying to say to understand what salam means. Salam has come to help the poor farmers. That basically concept is. Istisna'a. Istisna is again manufacturing. To istisna means to ask someone to manufacture for you. Sana'a means to manufacture, to make. Istisna'a means to ask someone to make for you. You come to a shoemaker, you don't have shoe, and you ask him that, can you deliver to me a shoes of my size from this leather, this quality, this, you describe properly, on this date, after 10 days, 15 days, and I pay you in advance. Shoemakers, poor people, they don't have money. So what happens? You give them money, then they go and buy the leather, and then after that they make and they deliver. So Islam wants to help these people to work, and it is helping the economy. Because you give him the money, then he makes. If you don't give him money, he does not have money. You give him money, he goes and buys leather. You can see helping the economy, and then he comes and delivers to you. So these poor people, they don't have money. So to help them, Islam allows you to buy from them something which they don't have. But they describe to you. They will tell you, I'll deliver your shoe exactly as you said. Write down properly, and you give the price. So in istisna, what happening is, you give the money price in advance. and the manufacturer delivers the product item later on a definite date, and the product is well defined, so there no dispute can arise. It's like salam basically. The difference is salam is agricultural product, while istisna is happening in manufacturing basically. That's what the difference is. Both are exactly the same concept, and both is to help the poor people. In both contract, you are buying something which does not exist, but is allowed on exception. Is it clear? Then another thing is Islam exception is ijara. In Islam, you can sell things which you own and which can be defined, but you cannot sell utility. You can't sell utility. I cannot sell, selling, any, for example, utility not defined. I cannot sell to you that, I have this cup, but you can use it and pay me this money because using the cup. So, what utility is, how much you're going to use, you cannot define. Similarly, for example, I have a house. I can sell the house, but selling the utility of the house, that is my house, I will keep owning, but you can use it, you can, live in it, and after every month you pay me this rent. Basically, what you're selling is not known, not defined. Nobody can define this thing. So it is Islamically something which does not exist, cannot be defined properly, it should not be allowed. But again, for the need of the poor people, Islam allows renting. Why? Because poor people don't have houses. And I'm a rich person, I have got 2 houses. And a poor person does not have a house. So if I only sell house, not utility, how can he buy? He does not have enough money. So for the sake of the poor people, Islam allows renting. So I have 2 houses, and 1 house is spare. You have no money to buy it, but you can actually pay rent. You can pay really that, whatever, you use. Certainly, we are not going to define. Certainly, sometimes you use more than I think. Sometimes it will be less than that. Sometimes you don't live it. You guard house on the rent, and for some reason you did not move for 2-3 months. You still have to pay rent. You're paying rent for something you never use. So this thing really not Islamic, not correct. But still we allow ijara. Why? Because it helps poor people. Because people who don't have houses, it helps them. So that's why ijara. Also, ijara is more than that. I can do business. But if I have money, if I have mudaraba, but sometimes really I don't have anything like that. I but have some skill. So some people can employ me, and they use benefit from my skill, and they pay me money. This is very difficult to describe properly, but Islam allows, because it is the way most people in the world, if I say all learned, they're employed. Because if it's not happening, how they're going to get money? To help them, we got ijara. So ijara basically really is also coming in exception. Like salam and istisna. It is really helping the poor people who don't have money, to help them to get some money. Is it clear to everybody? The ijara is renting, basically renting. Yeah, rent. Yeah, like lease, rent. That's ijara. Ijara, employment also comes in ijara, and employment are 2 types. One employment actually that I employ you for certain task. I can set to you that repair my window. Once you repair, I pay you this money. So if you repair, you get money. If you don't repair, you don't get money. Another employment actually is when I employ ajil khas, meaning I said to you, I need so much work at my home, so I need somebody an employee who can work for me, for a whole year, and monthly I'll pay you 500 pounds, 600 pounds, and then you work. Maybe there's no work sometime, but still you get that money. So that are also allowed in Islam. Both are allowed. So you can employ people for certain tasks, and you can employ people as the whole, meaning they become your employee from 8 to 5. From 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock, the task that you explain to them, if it exists, they will do. If it does not exist, they still will get money. But that actually are normal employment happening. Both are coming under ijara. This fine Islam, though technically it should not be allowed, but it is from very beginning it is allowed. Then it is coming something called murabaha. Murabaha in Islam is not a business tool. It's not like for that purpose. It basically should come under welfare system. But I'm put here because it has some similarity, and now by modern Islamic finance to use very wrongly. What murabaha means? Murabaha means I'm a neighbor of somebody who has computers. I bought a good computer from him. I brought to the classroom. You liked very much. You said, "Oh, so nice computer." So you said to me, "Where do you buy?" I said, "From my neighbor." So you said, "Okay, going to Oxford, buying it, so much difficulty and hardship. You said to me, your neighbor has computer anyway, sell your computer to me and you can buy for yourself. I'm not a businessman. But, out of welfare, helping you, because you cannot go to Oxford, and also you say that, I can be cheated, you know the computers more than me, you are my friend, and this computer you yourself chosen for yourself, I know that it is good quality of working, and for me, really, I don't know how to do. So if you can give me, plus your cost, and some profit also. So sometimes what happens is, people say no profit, just cost. So I bought this computer for £1,000, and the cost was delivery at this, at that, and whatever, 100 more. £1,100, and I said to my friend, okay, give me £1,100, just cost, nothing else, and I take computer, I'll buy another. That's called tawliya. So tawliya is also same thing, but Islamic finance people never use tawliya. The tawliya is very important because there's no money in that, there's no profit, they never use tawliya. Islam also has tawliya. Tawliya means that you buy an item and then you give to your friend just on the cost, nothing else. So, I bought this item for £100 and I spent £5 in basically on the transport. So I said to your friend, give me £105 and take it. I don't want to, I'm not a businessman, I'm just, giving it to you out of favor. But sometimes also Islam allows you, okay, £105 and take £2 more as a profit. You are not doing this business, but because this is not your business, that's called murabaha. So murabaha is also allowed. But murabaha in Islam only can be on what condition? You have got the item. That is a business. Meaning it, I have got a computer. I brought in the classroom. Now you want to. I don't have any computer. And I said to you that I have got a computer and buy from me and I don't own it. Then I took an order from you and go and buy. It's not murabaha. Murabaha means you already have got a computer. You have already paid the price. You know the cost. You know the profit, what you're going to make. Then you sell to me. If you don't have something, you never can. Murabaha never can happen on something which does not exist. You must own it. Understand this properly. That's how murabaha and tawliya in Islam are. In modern Islamic finance, murabaha are used basically just like bank don't buy any car for you. Bank basically tell you go and buy and choose, and that's it in murabaha contract. It is cheating. And all fuqaha agree that if one did not has bought the item, he is not allowed to sell that murabaha. It is impossible, and the contract will be cancelled if he does not own. And if he cheats, it also cancelled. If he actually lied about the cost, that's also cancelled. That all seems to be very reasonable because it's not business. It is just murabaha. Is it clear to everybody? That's called murabaha. Then other thing in Islam is riba. Riba basically in Islam is sucking the blood of poor people. Somebody dying of hunger, instead of helping the person, you want to actually you want to kill him actually before the death. There was the riba in Islam. Islam does not allow riba. Riba in Islam is worse than zina, adultery, worse than many things really. Riba is such a sinful thing. Not only riba, any doubt of riba is made haram in Islam. When I come later on riba, I will explain to you that what riba is and how many other things have been made haram. They don't have riba, but there is doubt of the riba. Riba is such a sinful act. In the Quran never tells about anything, any crime that it is war against Allah's Messenger except riba. Quran said that if people do riba, فَأَذَنُوا بِحَرْبٍ مِنَ اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ, then declare a war against them from Allah's Messenger. Riba is something Islam has no compromise. There are things that are haram, but not doubt. Doubt not haram. For example, impurity. If you are impure, it's not allowed. Impurity is not allowed in Islam. You cannot pray with impurity as a cloth, but not doubt of impurity. You are thinking that I passed by the house of Shaykh Akram and water was dropping from the house and fell on my cloth. Could be this water, impure because it mixes urine. So can I pray? Islam says no, don't do this. You can pray. Doubt does not make anything haram. Doubt does not make you impure. Understand properly. Everything pure unless you prove it impure. Doubt does not make anything impure. If you did wudu and then you got doubt, maybe I don't have wudu. Islam will say no, don't worry, you have wudu. Unless you prove that you don't have wudu. Doubt does not break your wudu, except in riba. Riba is a thing where doubt really makes things haram. Not only riba, doubt of the riba. It is so dangerous. Even doubt of the riba can make things haram. Lending money to your brother is welfare. Then on that you take money, profit, interest. It's never allowed. You should give sadaqah. You should give heba. You should lend money. But lending money and taking rent on the money, not allowed. Rent on the money is never allowed. It's impossible for Islam cannot imagine really people will be so mean, so low. And in human society, always this has been very bad. Always bad thing. That somebody borrows money and you take interest from that, it always has been mean character. That because in Urdu language, sood khari is so bad. In Arabic language, riba is a very, very bad word. Even in English language, if you read the literature earlier, you can see that only Jews are associated with to take interest. Nobody else. What they realize, these people who take interest usually, they realize really that everybody humiliates us, and we are so mean in the society. Let's be clever, do something, take money, and also remain white. Nobody can say anything to you, no dirt. So what they guard the banking system. So now, for example, if you are my neighbor, you are in need, you basically want to buy your daughter, you have no money, you come to me and I want to borrow from money. It's okay, take it, but give me more profit. You will hate me that this my friend, my neighbor, instead of helping in difficulty, he basically sucking my blood more and more. The hatred will be there. What banking does, if I have more money, banks ask me, okay, put your money here, we'll give you profit. So I become happy. Then you are my neighbor, you need more money, you need to borrow money, don't come to me, come to bank. Now you are friendly. It is my money which helped you to give money. But if I give you directly, you hate me. Now we both go to bank, I get profit from there, and you pay them there, and money comes to me. So clear, now friendly. Money banking system basically has made usually acceptable in the society. It basically developed. Banking system basically is making the interest normal. Normalization of the interest in the society. That basically usually becomes normal in the society. That's what whole banking system is on that. So this is the basic concept I wanted to make clear to you, because these words will be used very often. Now we are coming. Has everybody copied this? Okay. So now I'm coming to. Because inshallah I'll follow step by step. I want every concept to become to your mind as clear as possible. Because in this world there are actually people who have the idea of Islamic finance, and many ulama they do this thing. Now let's come. What is Islamic finance? And but before that, really understand what is the secular economics, secular finance. The first thing is Allah, the Creator. Allah has two attributes. What the two attributes are from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Before understanding this thing, one thing I make very clear, that Islam is not identity. Islam really is, Islam believes in function. What a real function of it. It's not what a cover up. It is not the form matters in Islam. It's spirit matters. To try to understand really. If you just name someone Muhammad, it does not make him Muslim. It's a simple thing like that. Unless somebody believes. For example, if an unbeliever, he loves the name Muhammad, and he calls himself Muhammad, tell me, is he Muslim because of the name? Everybody knows the names actually don't make something. Islam is not identity. Islam is what? Function. The problem really happening in modern society is that many things in Islam, people want to Islamization. What means? They want to make things Islamic without deen. People want an Islam without deen. So Islam without deen does not exist. Meaning it, take out deen and just make Islam. So you go Eid prayer and you say Assalamu alaikum on the way. Oh, we are Muslim, because we say Alhamdulillah, we say Inshallah, Yarhamukallah, so we are Muslim. That Islam does not exist really. Islam of identity is not Islam of the Quran Sunnah. Islam is Islam with the function. To try to understand this is the meaning it, we don't have Islam without deen. Islam is Islam with the deen, not without deen. So you take away deen from Islam, it's not Islam. Is it clear to everybody? Now coming. So that I want to make very clear to Islam of the deen. Islam with the deen, what it means. Allah has two main attributes in the Quran and Sunnah, and every Muslim knows. One is Ar-Rabb and one is Al-Ilah. What Ar-Rabb means? Ar-Rabb means he is the creator. Is the creator of Muslims only? No, he created Muslims and non-Muslims both. When he created, does he sustain someone, gives a provision to Muslims only or non-Muslims as well? Everybody. He's the Rabb, he provides to everybody. He looks after everybody. He's the Rabb. In this matter, believers, unbelievers, doesn't matter. He looks after everybody. Like a father. A father has many children. He looks after all of them. Maybe some of them are good, obedient, some of them don't obey. But as a father, his duty is to look after them equally. He looks after all of them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as a Rabb, He looks after everybody. He provides everything to everybody. So what He said actually, and He said, that eat much like He said, Allah said that I create the whole universe for you. Eat and drink and enjoy the life. But what He said also that eat and drink, but worship me, obey, thank me, that it's coming from me, recognize me. So He said to وَرَزَقَكُمْ مِنَ الطَّيِّبَاتِ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ. He gave you all the good things to you thank Him. He also said to the messengers, Ya ayyuhar Rasul, O messengers, eat good, but at the same time do good deeds. He said to the believers, كُلُوا مِنْ طَيِّبَاتِ مَا رَزَقْنَاكُمْ. Eat good, pure food, but thank Allah. So you can see, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the way is like that. Now believers are who? Believers are those who believe in Allah as a Rabb and as Ilah. Ilah means that is Ma'bud. So means He provides us and then we thank Him. Then we worship Him, we obey Him, we listen to Him. That's what a believer do. The believer, Muslim human being, what actually he does, he believes in Allah as a Rabb, as Ilah both. If he believes in Allah as a Rabb, but not Ilah, he is not a Muslim human being. Shaitan also does the same thing. Shaitan also believes Allah, but as a Rabb. Shaitan says to Allah, oh Allah, give me long life and this and that. He asks Him. He depends on Him. He knows He can Allah, but he does not obey Him. He does not listen to Him. So he's Shaitan. The word kafir. So kafir does not necessarily mean does not believe in Allah. Kafir means does not believe as Allah. Like Shaitan. What's kafir? He believes Allah as a Rabb, but not as Allah. So Muslim human, he believes in both things. He believes Allah as a Rabb, that Allah, all the provision comes to me from Him. He the who made me. He also believes in Him as Ma'bud. He worships Him. And then second thing is, this human being, Muslim human being, his purpose in the life is he knows that Allah has given me everything in this is space given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But this is not purpose. My purpose is not to live in this world. This actually just means. It is a means to help me. My purpose is what? To obey my Lord, please Him, and get paradise. So this human being takes this world as a means to ibadah. Everything here is to help you to do ibadah. In the space, the provision, the food, the money, the time, every single thing what? To help you to do ibadah. So this human being, his purpose is what? To please his Lord, not to please himself. To please who? Please Allah. So for example, this human being is very tired. In the night, very short in the summer. He wants to sleep. If he wants to please himself, he can sleep. But at 4 o'clock, the call comes for prayer. Now he has choice, either to please Allah or to please himself. If he pleases himself, he will sleep. If he pleases Allah, he will wake up and make a struggle, make effort, go and pray in the mosque. This human being does not please himself. He makes effort to please Allah. When he pleases Allah, he also pleases himself, no doubt really. People don't understand it. Those who go to sacrifice their sleep and go to pray in the mosque, they get more happiness than those who sleep. People don't know really. People who fast in the month of Ramadan to please their Lord, they enjoy it more than those who keep eating. But this is a different type of dish, much more tasty, much more enjoyable. Anyway, this human being, he does not look at his own pleasing himself. He only wants to please his Lord. When he pleases his Lord has promised him, don't worry, make sacrifice, wake up in the morning, fast in the month of Ramadan, I will give you paradise. His Lord gives him in paradise. So this human being works for paradise. Is it clear? Now this other human being, what he does, he only knows Allah is the Rabb, creator. Food coming, this coming, that coming. Oh, such nice world. Like a meadow. Like, the animals go to a meadow. They think, the world, this nice world, meadow, eat grass. This human being, non-Muslim human being, treats the whole universe as a meadow. Just eat, drink, oh, nice, enjoy the life. His purpose what? To please himself. Just eat, drinking, this, whatever, enjoy. And he invents a new enjoyment. Every time new enjoyments keep inventing all the time. Because his purpose is only rewarding this world. Nothing. He does not think about any world. Okay, this human being, let me explain it a little bit further, so it becomes very clear. This human being, he wants to enjoy more and more in life. More and more in life. So for this purpose, he invented many, many sciences. Like natural sciences, human sciences, like natural sciences, medicine, all this thing. The purpose of these sciences is what? To get maximum enjoyment in this world. If you have illness and, to become healthy. Because if you're not healthy, how can you enjoy the life? So, for the purpose of this purpose, he invented many sciences, natural sciences, and all and human sciences. You can see, like, one of the part of human science, economics, and from economics comes the finance. So he invented this, this human being for, this science. Why? To serve him. Basically, he wants to full enjoyment in this world. So for this purpose, he invented this sciences. Now, this human being, when he invented this sciences, tell me what was he in his mind? To serve this human being, not that human being. Keep in mind, these sciences which invented by this human being are not to serve that human being. It is this that you can see all the sciences, they are worldly oriented. The direction not only hereafter, not when you read economics, they teach about paradise. Not like that. The whole thing, you can see, it is basically oriented to this world, direction to this world. Many Muslims, they do big mistake here. And actually, Islamic finance people have done big, I'll come to that later on, to explain to you. They have done a big mistake in this matter. They think these sciences, they are value neutral. They're positive sciences. They are made for an abstract human being which has no value. No, it's not true really. They have been made for a human being which has a value, which is actually non-believer, non-Muslim. These sciences, they are not value neutral. They are not positive science. They have got their own values. If you take them with their spirit and form, they are basically create a conflict between you and your religion. It's not so easy. Try to understand properly. You cannot take them as they are. If you take them as without understanding this thing, you will fail really. If you think really they are positive sciences and there is no harm, economics is just human thing, nothing to do with Islam or Kufr. If you think like that, you will have problem. But once you know economics actually have been invented, made by a non-Muslim human being whose purpose to enjoy this life, when I benefit from that, I should be careful. Because there are so many elements in this whole thing which basically only made for this human being, which contradicts the belief and the life of the other human being. They contradict them, and I'll come to that later on, and you can see very clearly. But first keep in mind that all the human sciences, even natural science, but I'm not discussing that one, human sciences, when they have been developed in the West, they have been developed in the West keeping in mind this human being. The human being whose purpose is to please himself. The human being who wants his reward in this world. It is keeping that human being in mind. Meaning these sciences, they are not meant for an abstract human being. And then you can apply to any human being. Whatever could be, like for the cloth. You make a cloth any size. So sometimes you can make cloth actually neutral cloth, just positive. This cloth, this size can fit to Muslim, non-Muslim, and there's nothing, no value attached to that. This is not how sciences are. Sciences are not positive. Sciences are not made for an abstract human being. Is it clear to you? They are not made. They are not keeping in mind an abstract human being which has no value. These sciences have been developed by and for certain human being. They are not abstract. They basically have certain values, and they made to serve that value. And the value is to please myself. My purpose in my life is to please myself. My purpose in my life is to get reward in this world. So when they made these sciences go around that. So they are not. Is it clear to everybody? Like for the house, when I build a house to sell to the people, there are also can values, but also it's possible you can make houses, for abstract human being. I mean, for human being which has no value. So, you Muslim can buy, non-Muslim can buy, that does not make a difference. So houses can be for an abstract human being. Though in houses also the problem. I was in South Africa, so there was the advertisement came, Islamic houses. I think, what can Islamic? You see how the people who make money, they keep doing. So what Islamic houses is, if you read the description, that in that house there will be facility how to do wudu. It becomes Islamic house. So even now houses have become, not positive. They are not. They have value. The houses are not value neutral. Now you have to buy Muslim houses. You can't buy non-Muslim houses. Until now, we used to think houses are just, just basically neutral. Houses that don't have any value attached to them. Houses are like for abstract human being. Any human being can buy. But anyway, houses are different matter. Or like, fruits, I selling mango. These mangoes are for an abstract human being, meaning it for believer and unbeliever both. But human sciences, they are not for abstract human being. To understand, if you have read it, I have studied economics and also have studied sociology. So I know properly from very beginning to the end of how they discuss. They discuss keeping in mind a human being who basically only wants to please himself in this life. He has nothing to do. That's what actually keep in mind. Now, A human being who wants to please his Lord and wants to work for paradise, he wants to use them. If you want to use them, you can use them. But if you use them as they are, you are going to harm yourself. You become like that human being. You have to be careful. They are not value neutral. Is it clear to everybody? That it must be understood properly. If you know this thing, it will help you for many things in the society. For many things really, you can become careful. You know really, things are not positive. They are not value neutral. People have to be careful more and more. When you buy something, when you use something, when you study something, when you learn something, you become more and more careful. They are not, value. But many Muslims don't understand this thing really. And actually, even Islamic Finance people, when they have written a book, and I know that I don't want to mention their name, because I don't like to bite people unnecessarily, but I'm really shocked. They are great faqih and jurists, but they have taken all the Islamic finance economics, a definition, every single thing, as they are invented by these people, without even thinking really, does it fit here or not. So, this is one of the important things I wanted to teach you, because it really will make your mind very clearly that the science said in this world they are not value free, they are not positive, they are not value neutral. They have got values to that. It does not mean I'm going to forbid, make every science haram. It's not like that really. I encourage people to study. Actually, even if people have to take a loan, still I give fatwa that if you don't have money and you have to take a loan, study. So don't think I'm against that. But I want to tell you properly that what they are. Learn them, but knowingly. Learn them, study them, use them, but knowingly. Don't think they are positive sciences. They are not value neutral. They have got a value attached to those sciences. Like for example, if you learn fiqh from me, you can't say it is just laws. There is value attached. When I teach Islamic law, there is value. If a non-Muslim learns, he will be influenced. He'll change. He cannot come just it is just a law. Doesn't matter really learn from Muslim, non-Muslim. No, Islamic law taught by Muslim, they have values. They are not value neutral. These sciences developed by the people who don't believe hereafter, don't believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are not value neutral. They have got their own value. They are serving. When they work on sociology and new ideas come, they come keeping this human being in mind, the human being that they know. Not every other human being. Other human being has to struggle to use them. But for their own human being, they are the main sciences. That how things work. Now really, in Islam, does not want really people become rich and become this human being. That not to understand it does not mean that we cannot live with them. Islam encourages Muslims to live with anybody, all human beings. My neighbor can be Muslim, Christian, Jew, whatever. Islam allows that. But Islam makes very clear, don't be like that human. If you become like that, you become ungrateful to your Lord. Eat and drink, but do good deeds. Like Iqbal said, very nicely in his poetic verse, he said, अपने राज़िक़ को पहचाने तो मोहताजे मुलूक, अपने राज़िक़ को न पहचाने तो मोहताजे मुलूक, और पहचाने तो हैं तेरे गदा दारा उजम. If you don't know your provider, your Lord, the one who provides you, if you don't know him, then you need to come to the kings. Work for them. They give you some money like begging. Or pehchan, if you know him, then the kings and the masters of the world, they become your slave. Two different concepts really. Allah wants you to make you master, and they want you to make you slave. When you keep begging, and you can see really, like a Pakistan, existence Pakistan is more than 60, 70 years. But what happens, they never thought really to turn to their Lord, to ask him, to turn the Quran. All the time really keep begging from somewhere else, all the science and everything. Until now they beggar, nothing more, no value. And when you follow someone, Imam will never think you are equal to him. If I am Imam, leader, and you follow me, you always be behind me. That is how you follow. Followers never can become like the Imam. If you follow the West, you have to be in the back. You have to be behind. That's actually how it is. Islam wants to make you to Imam. Islam wants to make Imam. That inshallah will come later on. But understand properly, these two concepts, they create two different human beings. One human being who frees himself from all the problem and becomes slave of his master. The other human being does not know his master. He makes himself slave of everybody. Every single moment he thinks, if I lose my money, if I spend 5 pounds, if I get to this poor person, then I lose 5 pounds. All the time his worries are there. Even to help his, I was in Oxford. Very often, my colleagues, they are not Muslim. And we used to invite them to a house and to have dinner. But they never invited. Because to them to spend, and once I remember when I was beginning, first time in this country, to one of my colleagues in Oxford, he invited us for a dinner. Some Muslim and also. And that day I felt ill, so I couldn't go. So when my other Muslim colleagues, they came back, I asked them, how was the dinner? So they are not fine, but everybody had to pay himself. I asked them, but why he invited? So this is how things are there. You invite, you enjoy, but everybody to pay. This is a thing you cannot imagine in proper Muslim context. Because to them to spend £5 on you is a big problem. How can they spend? What are they going to get? You become really worried every single moment. When you become Muslim, you can't see Muslim society how corrupt they are. It's still generous. Pakistan, which I have been criticizing so much, but if you go to Pakistan, you will be amazed how generous people are. One of my Italian friend, he said once he was robbed in Pakistan and how Muslims helped him, he was so much impressed. So, though, no doubt, I keep criticizing every Muslim country in the world, but it's still really, all the Muslim countries, they are much, much better in this matter. You can see, in Ramadan, you can see in Ramadan, go to poorest place, you can see the children, they're taking something, the bread to the mosque and to the neighbors. The mother cooks something, she does not want to alone. She said to her child, oh, take this bit to the mosque and also to poor neighbors. They give, even they don't have something. This spirit you don't find really. One of my friends in Oxford, he got married and he had to buy a house and he was struggling to have mortgage, and his father was still a priest in the church. So I said to him, why you have problem? Your father can make a speak in the mosque that my son wants to buy a house and we don't have money, can you lend money? And when you pay later. So he said, Akram, forget this thing. In this country, whether my father is priest or not, nobody can give us any money without profit. No interest. It's impossible. Lending money without interest this concept does not exist anymore here. It does not exist. This actually what happens. You become so mean really. And love of the money becomes so deep in the heart. You basically become very, very low human being. That's what Iqbal said. अपने राज़िक़ को न पहचाने तो मुहताजे मुलूक और पहचाने तो हैं तेरे गदादारा उजम. If you don't know your creator, your master, your provider, then you need kings. You become needy to beg them. If you know him, then the masters of the world and rulers, they become your slave. Islam wants to make you higher. So anyway, that keep in mind that this thing basically is not a value neutral. These sciences, they have got their own value. Now what the value is, I'll teach you few things which will help you to understand modern finance as well. First, what this human being actually, what is this human being that these sciences keep in mind when they develop sociology, economics, which human being they keep in mind? First quality of this human being is that he is Samad. You know Samad? Quran says, Qul huwallahu ahad, Allahu Samad. You know what Samad means? Samad actually in Arabic language basically means a big rock in the sea. So when people used to go on the ships, so these rocks, they stand there. They don't fear anything. But the ships, people tie them with these rocks in order. Yeah, so in the sea, you've got big rock. Rock is independent, but ships they need to be tied. That otherwise, So what Samad means? Samad means Allah is Samad. Allah Samad means Allah does not need anyone, and everybody needs Him. Therefore, Allahu al-Ghaniyul Hamid. Ghani means He does not need people, and He Hamid means He helps everybody. That's Samad. This human being basically wants to be Samad. That's what meaning is. I don't need anybody. Become independent as much as possible. Don't depend on the neighbor, don't depend on the father, don't depend on the mother, don't depend on the creator, don't depend on anything. Become independent. It is lie. It doesn't exist really. In this world, this does not exist really. When people say that, I want to become independent individual, so both the words are lies. That I would say to kufr really. Because why? Because can you be individual? You never can be individual. You always will be individual. Do you know what difference between individuals and individual is? Individual basically is when we divided. A mother, if her son is lost, can you tell her that you are individual, eat and drink? She will not. She is individual. She cannot eat without son, unless he comes. She cannot enjoy the life. Impossible for her. And my family said that, when I used to travel, come to my home, until I reach, my mother will not eat for 1 or 2 days anything. She cannot eat. She's just waiting. So this is a thing. If she's individual, why she cannot eat? She's an individual. To say that people are individual, it is the biggest lie. And, and then people teach you in the school first day, you are independent. It's another lie. Are you independent? You depend on every single thing in this universe. When you are born, depend on your mother. And your mother depend on the whole universe. You depend on the water. You depend on the air. You depend on the everything. One of the minister, in my state in India, UP, Uttar Pradesh, he became elected and he became minister. So he said, we have so much water in this state, which is enough for 500 years. And there were drought immediately after that, and everyone started crying. This is how independent they are. And this thing that you say I'm independent is like this human being basically from the beginning learns that he's individual, independent. Taught in the school, taught in the university, taught everywhere. Tell me, can this human being fit there? Where other human being taught, you depend on your Lord. You are individual. You share with everybody. You are related to your mother. You are related to your father. You are related to your brother, sister. You are related to the whole society. You have friends. You are individual. That human being learns he is individual. This human being learns he is individual. That human being learns he is dependent. He depends on the Lord. His Lord is Samad. This human being learns he is independent. This is the first thing where they both really are very different to each other. Is it clear? According to this human being, that, all the values in this world, everything in the life, way of life, all of them really are equal. Whether you do with the right hand or left hand, whether you do this, that, everything equal. What makes something preferable? Your will. You decide. You choose. If you want to eat with the left hand, that's the best for you. You think this is good. You choose. There's no value. All the values are equal in the world. It is you who decide. Your will makes a value prefer over others. Nothing else. All the, And is it clear? Second thing. The first thing about this human being is he is individual and he is independent. Second thing about this human being is that he thinks all the values in the world, there are no values anyway. The measurements for any way of life is not, the values exist. It is actually your will. Your will makes value. You decide. If greed is the best thing, be greedy. If jealousy can help you, be jealous. If hating somebody can help you, hate. If anger can help you, be angry. If you basically hate someone and hating can good for you, hate. Basically values are what you will. Values don't exist anywhere. That is so deep you cannot understand how deep it really is. People think really. People can, for example, like people drink. Because they think it is their life. If drinking can make me feel better, I should drink. If smoking can make me better feel, I smoke. The other human being does not have like that. He does not think that his will makes value. He knows, values already exist by his Lord. He has to follow them. His Lord said, don't drink. Then whether drinking is good for me or not doesn't matter. I have to follow that value. His Lord said, don't smoke. Then I have not to smoke. Maybe smoking can, people think a big philosophy that is when you smoke, you become in a different world. But no, he does not want to follow that. He wants to follow, anyway, the few things. And this thing I want to make very clear to difference between both human beings. Muslim human being and non-Muslim human being. It is not only going to help you in Islamic finance, it is going to help you in the whole life, inshallah. But I stop it here because time for the break. And if you have any question, please ask. Make effort to understand everything clearly. Because my way is I'm teacher. What teacher does? Teacher's way is to explain. I'm not a peer or shaykh. Peer, people what they do, they say and you just follow them blindly. So I'm not a peer. I'm not a shaykh. I'm just a teacher. Teacher's way is to make the people to think. Receive knowledge knowingly and with understanding and thinking properly. Then you need to teach. And when you teach, then you have full responsibility. You can't say, I learned from Shaykh Akram. No. Now you teaching, you are responsible. So that's why you need to understand every concept, think, and once you understand, then up to you, whether you agree or not agree. I have not come here to impose my idea. I only have come as a teacher. Teaching means I want to explain the concept properly. So you should really ask questions. You should discuss with me. You should differ with me. You should agree, disagree. Up to you. If it does not make sense to you, you have full right because that's how Allah has made you. Okay.
Yeah, Shaykh, Assalamu alaikum. In regard to your previous definition of salam, in regard to a farmer, by giving the advance money for the crop to get his, like you say, his basmati rice, something like that. But what about at the term, through natural causes, the plant or the crop destroy, or as a through drought, through flood, what will happen to the one who pays the money?
Yeah, whenever you ask anybody, give, money in the business, then until it is delivered, you are not responsible. For example, if I buy from you a computer, and you say, okay, I'm going to deliver, and before delivering to my house, it was stolen from your house. You paid money, stolen. I'm not responsible. You are responsible. This thing will happen in the life. That why actually I'm come to that anyway. In Islam, you never can make any business risk-free, because people have to trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Any attempt to make a business risk-free becomes non-Islamic. That was the major problem with Islamic finance now is, because they want to make a business risk-free. And Islam never accepts any business risk-free. People do, and then trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's impossible. Even life really. I can die. Can you make guarantee? Can you business risk-free is not Islamic. It's impossible. It never can happen.
So in that case, the farmer will have to return the money back to the...
He has to return back. But certainly Islam has got all the provision in mind. Rich, sometimes poor people, they don't have money. And, now it's a big loss. That's why I say in Islam, there are so many ways. Sadaqah, heba. Islam is cooperation. Meaning it, then the state will help the person, or the rich people will help the person. People say, my friend, my neighbor farmer, he has so much lost, he has no money, he has children, and I have money, I'll help him. I lend money or I give sadaqah. So it is based on that idea. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants people to do. So, try to understand properly. Islam never makes any business risk-free, because the purpose is that you do as best as possible. Then don't trust in what you do, trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if any attempt to make a business risk-free, it makes it non-Islamic. That's one of the important quality of non-Islamic businesses. They want to make it risk-free. And Islam never, when it becomes risk-free, it becomes haram, non-Islamic. Simple thing. When in a business, any assurance comes that you have no risk, it certainly means it's not a business.
Could you briefly go over murabaha again, please?
Yeah, the murabaha basic. Let us understand both murabaha and tawliya. As I mentioned to you, this example, I have in Oxford, I live in Oxford, and my neighbor has research computers. And I trust in him, he's a very good person, my friend. I bought from him a computer. And I came to the classroom, and you liked it, and you can see it functions nicely, and you know that I bought it and I use it for a while. It must be very good. So you are happy. You asked me, where did you buy? I said, I bought in Oxford. You said, what price? I said, £500. So you said to me that for me to go to Oxford and also to buy from some whether trustworthy, reliable is not very possible really. And you already have bought and you know this thing. If I can buy from you, there are two ways for me to sell this computer to you. One is tawliya. Tawliya, I tell you, oh yeah, you my friend anyway, and I buy my neighbor. Yeah, take it on the cost, and I'll buy from him. So cost was actually £500, and then for transport from his shop to my house, it cost me £5 more. So £505 give me and take it. That's called tawliya. Another way, you said to me, no, take some profit. I said okay. So £5 cost, and give me £5 more, £10 more, £20 more, and we agree. That's murabaha. I got some profit. It is not my business, but it is also helping the people. So this is based on the honesty. This collectively, bay' bil amana. Bil amana means that I should be honest that I bought this one on this price, this cost. If any dishonesty comes, this buy becomes invalid. No more murabaha. I should have bought already. Then I sell to you. If I did not buy, and I just want to make a business, I have bought. This all lie will make it invalid. Murabaha is when I already have acquired an item, paid the price, know the cost properly, and I tell you the cost and price properly, and then I tell you the profit. That's called murabaha. That's allowed. Is it clear? You keep this concept in mind. All the concepts I explained to you, because these are the tools which are used in modern Islamic finance. I'll tell you later on. They use the word, but they don't use the spirit. And words are not what they will say mudaraba, but not mudaraba. For example, tell me really, if I sell you honey and I give you the word honey, can word honey cure you? There is a cure in the word honey. I sell you the word honey. Cure is actually in the real honey, not in the word honey. These people want to sell you the word. And actually I know, I found the people. So what actually happens, people contract on the paper in Mudaraba, but people actually who delivering in the banking, they have no idea Mudaraba. They basically, both non-Islamic and Islamic finance, both are dealt by the same people in the same manner. And I friends, so on the paper you have got paper, word Mudaraba. But in reality, what you are delivering, same thing like anybody else. In the paper, you have got word Murabaha. But on the reality, basically your contract is same like anybody else. Only you have got the word. So if you believe that the word honey can cure you, fine. But we know words don't cure. Words actually are a reference to some reality. They refer to something. Word honey refers to honey. Honey, not honey. Honey is something else. But anyway, this will come later on, yeah? Yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, that's fine, yeah.
Assalamu alaikum. You mentioned that in riba, doubt makes it haram. What did you mean by that?
Yeah, this is a very good question, but I'll come because there is one whole session I'm going to teach you about riba, because that's what actually the main thing that what problem in Islamic finance I find is riba. Riba is there, not only doubt, even riba is there. So I'll come to that why riba, what is riba and what is doubt of riba. Both are riba, we call it in Arabic language, a-riba wa-riba. Da'u a-riba wa-ribata. Leave riba and leave doubt of the riba. Both are haram. It will come, inshallah, yeah. Your question?
Sheikh, you know the different types of contracts that you described, were they all from the time of the Prophet ﷺ, or were some developed later by Fuqaha?
Yeah, could be some. I don't think Murabaha and Tawliya, they use hadith, but developed by the Fuqaha later on. But also Mudaraba, I think it exists in the world, but ties to the Mudaraba, many things they have done, because business became big thing in Islam. For 1,000 years, Muslims were the basically leading people in the business all over the world. That's why I can see that chapter on the business is so rich in Islamic fiqh, because they have been doing. Certainly, they have so many details developed. Maybe basic concepts are there, like Mudaraba Sharka always have been in the world anyway. But many details of Mudaraba Sharka they have been developed by Fuqaha. But those Fuqaha whose basically orientation is Quran Sunnah. Now the Fuqaha, their orientation is something else. They borrow from some that's a different thing.
There are Fuqaha now whose orientation is Islam. Is it possible to be innovative and create a new methodology that's consistent with our values but has never been used before? Isn't part of any?
No, they should be. That's what it should be. When Islamic finance came, Western people became happy. They knew really the problem of their own financial system. They were thinking, now Muslims will make some contribution. I have read many articles. They are they basically are laughing now. They said it's just our idea. You just do no research. That we call in Islam Sariqatul Hadith. There hadith and there's stealing hadith. Hadith, I narrate a hadith, you heard this, and then you steal my hadith and you say your hadith. So Islamic finance basically is stolen finance. Not if they do research and they innovate, this is a big thing. What really need a contribution? And Muslims are the one who can make the contribution because they're one who got values. But Muslims have become borrowers. So what you're saying is that I agree. But this does not exist in the world. Not existing really. And I'll tell you really how bad is this matter. People don't have time to do research. Other people's research, they steal it and then they change the form, it becomes Islam. When the word Islamization comes, it always means non-Islamic. You have to make something Islamic. Don't Islamize things. Make things Islamic. Do fresh research. Introduce new values, new things in the market. People will love you. Then nothing. Like these Western people, whether they non-Islamic, but what I admire for them, they do research. They do research, they make effort, and for their human being, they help. They invent things. We people, for our human beings, we don't help. We borrow for other human beings. So we can't complain. They make effort. They do research in Oxford and Cambridge. If you go really, there are people who don't take holidays. They keep working. They enjoy life. Their married life is in problem, but they do research. They work hard. We Muslims all do steal their research and say it is Islamic. And I make my research. I've seen really many papers in Urdu language in Pakistan, published by big people. They are word by word translation of one of my Shaykh in Qatar. He did all the research and they just actually translate in Urdu and publish in their name. So many things. Is it really in honesty? Just cheating. And same thing people do from English. They borrow so many ideas from the Western people and they make it Islamic. This is not. You really let down Islam. Islam becomes very, very low. These people have made effort. Make effort.